Hey, listen, like you said,
I'm gonna get back into it. I'm gonna get back into it. I'm your host as always. I just put "I'm back" as my name.
you may pull the mean Eric Bishop.
Oh my god! I'm joined by my co-host as always, Jaquan and Benji. What's going on?
Can't even
Yo,
pronounce my
what
name
up?
right. Jesus Christ.
Government, baby.
Nah, you still pronounced it wrong.
What did I say?
You said Jaquan. It's J. Quan.
Oh, he different.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be foolishness. All right, all right. Here we go. All right,
It's
ready
the
to go.
English language. What do you want from
Jaquan.
me? Andrew? Andrew.
We'll be doing the Jets picks. Benji, you care if I go first?
By all means.
All right. And Benji will be third. Before we get into it, as always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, get your stretch on, knock this first round out. NFL draft right around the corner. In fact, it's almost about a little less than 48 hours. Let's get through this. So, with the first pick in the draft, I'm not going to drag anything out. I'm not going to be, because they're going to be like, the Raiders are on the clock. They have 10 minutes, and they're going to sit here and drag it.
Oh, it's 8 now.
And drag it. Oh, well, you know what I mean. Here the whole time and drag it. And it's like, bro, just announce Fernando. Like,
We know.
Mm-hmm.
Like they should open the draft and just like as soon as the thing happens, Grange Goodell just turns around and be like, well, we've known for like 2 months. It's Fernando Mendoza. The Jets are on the clock.
Yep.
they literally should just be like, they literally just walk, welcome to the NFL draft. The Jets are on the clock and just start at two. Start it. As soon as it starts, Fernando goes across that one. It's just the Jets are on the clock. Like
they just literally just show him in the back, like
yeah, like already with the hat on, sit down.
He's not even hair. Like he's
mid
not even here. Like, we
interview,
don't even need
like
to announce this.
mid interview, like, yep, this is what's happening. All right, where we going? Okay.
All right. Well, with this pick, honestly, it's kind of refreshing to see a front office that's actually competent with keeping secrets because nobody actually knows what the hell is going on with this. I don't care what the markets say. I don't care. Nobody knows. Apparently, 3 people know in the entire building what they're doing. And it's Glenn Muji and an unnamed third person. Which makes me think it might be Woody, but I don't think they told Woody because they don't want to leak it.
Yeah, Woody would have leaked it.
Woody would have leaked it by now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go with what the fandom says because national media, well, one thing I've learned about New York is national media thinks they know and they really don't. They don't know squat about what's going on in New York because they always put out reports and they're almost always false.
Arvell Reese.
Yes, sir. Arvell Reese.
Copy that.
That's what we've been doing. That's where we've been going.
All right, Benji, you're on the clock with the Cardinals at 3.
All right. So for all intents and purposes, yeah. So all intent. For all intents and purposes, I'm like, did we agree on doing trades, or are we just saying screw it and just gonna go straight forward and everything?
We'll go straight forward, but we could talk about trades and what we think really could happen.
Got you. So the funny thing about it is the 2 teams or whatever that are supposed to be, thinking about trading up to this particular spot are actually falling on my picks. Those 2 teams are the Kansas City Chiefs and the Dallas Cowboys, right? So as we were discussing beforehand, like I do not think that Dallas actually has the ammo to get 2-3 without trading 20. Like I don't want to hear all of the goat houses and Trevor Sycamore talking about, oh man, yeah, all they need to do is trade 12 and like a 3rd round pick from next year. I'm like, go to hell. Like, what is wrong with y'all? Like,
From the Cardinals, I'm not doing that. I'm like, nah, they're not.
Yeah, that's
run
like
them pockets, G. Run them
pockets. In no way, shape, or form.
Yeah, like
yeah, nah, you getting? I'm gonna tell you right now. Like, yo, let me get 12, 20, 92,
Yeah, like,
152,
Yep.
180, and that's or I'm hanging up and I'm calling Tennessee. Matter of
Like
fact,
for real.
I'm
yep.
calling Miami.
Like for real. Like this people out that it actually takes to get from one pick to the next just because of the
Yeah.
fact that they're doing mocks and they think like, oh man, let's just push this through. Like, no. But anyway, like the other one aside from Dallas is Kansas City, and they're technically in the same boat. Granted, 9 has a little more firepower than 12, with 29 being their second first round pick. I don't think they have the ammo without doing some crazy like 2027 first rounder along with that as well.
You don't think
So
9 and 40 gets it done?
no, hell no.
9 and
From
40.
from not
I would
uh-uh.
say 940, maybe. Hold on, let me see what
You
picks
better
they got.
what?
Hold on, hold on, hold on.
Maybe you
Hold
better give
on, hold
me
on,
a
hold on.
third or a third,
I'm
or you better give
saying
me a second next year.
940, 109 and a third next year.
Give me a hot second. Let me look up something real quick.
940, 109. 109 is what, third round?
Yeah. No, it's early fourth, I think.
Early fourth. Early fourth. 940, 109, and a what
So a
next
first,
year?
a third. So a first this year, a second this year, and a fourth this year.
Okay, so what I'm looking at on the chart right now. Third pick is worth 2,200.
Right.
Not 9 is 1,350.
Mm-hmm.
You can technically, like, if you wanted to do 9 and 29 or whatever, that gets
Mm-hmm.
you just below is
Wow.
640.
Wow.
So you
Jesus.
could technically get it with that. So, like, if you wanted to be, if the up there because they want David Bailey, then they could technically pull that off.
I mean, I honestly think they would. I truly, because one, they have 40, so they're not even that far out in the
Mm,
second round. And then you look at it like the Chiefs don't really like they need a lot, but they don't need a lot, if that makes sense.
mm-hmm,
Like they need interior line, I believe, if I'm not tripping. If not like a developmental tackle. Right?
mm-hmm.
I think the Chiefs need a starting tackle. Didn't they lose both of them, or did they sign somebody? Edge,
I'm
corner,
almost
tackle, tight end, receiver.
Yeah, I'm like, if I'm the Chiefs or whatever, unless you are head over heels with David Bailey,
that's
and
fair.
that is your guy, I am sticking and picking.
That's fair.
I'm not
That's
trying.
fair.
I'm not trying to trade up. So
That's
what
fair.
I'm going to do is I'm going to make like I'm going to sit up here and I'm going to make this real easy. Is I'm going to take David Bailey for Arizona,
Okay.
and that's just going to be the pick right there.
All right.
David Bailey. Sounds good to me.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And I'm on the clock at 4 with the Titans. And I'm going to probably screw Benji over because I'm sure there's somebody on the clock on the here that he wants.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're
But
picking at 5, not me.
what?
No, Benji, you're
Oh,
picking at 5. He's picking at 10.
Oh, yo, you want to pick at 10? Okay.
I mean, I'm 4. You gonna go twice in a row?
That
I
feels
mean, like I
cheating.
said, we were either gonna collab on it or we're gonna split it. It's up to you.
Nah, it doesn't matter. I'm going Jeremiah Love here
Okay.
because
Okay.
I feel like, listen, I understand. Like everybody says, the Sonny Styles connection, Robert Sala, he loves the sideline and sideline. But you have a young quarterback who needs weapons. You need
Mm-hmm.
weapons, not just a young quarterback needs a running back. Needs weapons, and like you gotta go get the best, potentially best playmaker or athlete in the draft, by far the
Mm-hmm.
best running back. So give your franchise QB a franchise running back and let's go. So
Was there any thoughts of taking offensive line here? Because after
no,
this year, they don't have any. Like they have Peter Skoronsky, and that's it.
nah, nah.
Okay.
I,
Hey, I'm throwing it out there. I'm
I
just
feel
throwing it
you.
out
I
there.
feel you. I think the only thing I could do is potentially look at the Titans free
Hmm.
agency signings, but even then, yeah, they got Wandale, Alante Taylor, Jermaine. Anybody else? Let's see. They
It's not
signed.
a lot.
They signed
they,
a lot. They didn't sign any linemen besides Schlottman,
yeah,
and he's probably going to play more of a backup role. So
Mhm.
probably.
you got to do that, and then you got to wherever your next pick is for the Titans, you got to invest in the offensive line.
I think
So
Yeah.
they're like. I think they're 35. I want to
I
say.
think you can probably look.
Yeah. Yeah, they're 35.
What was I
35,
going to say?
66.
Well, there you go. 35. You're on the board. You got like a Pregnon up there. You got this
Yeah.
Mhm.
You got to take like a
Blake Miller,
Pregnon and a
Eichenauer. You're
Basantis.
going to have offensive linemen. Yeah. So
Mhm.
Honestly, I don't think Blake Miller's going to get there, respectfully. I don't think
yeah,
Blake
I
Miller.
heard that he's
I don't think
probably
Blake
going to go
Miller's going
first
to get
round.
there.
Mhm.
Um. So yeah, this is you, Benji.
All right. So the pick was Jeremiah Love.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I have been on the Sonny Styles train for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks now. So
Mm-hmm.
I am going to say that since what was it? 1984, my birth year,
Mm-hmm.
the very last time the New York Giants drafted an off-ball linebacker with in the first round, that ends right now because I am really sick and tired of watching motherfuckers run all over us. And Sonny Styles helps that out tremendously. I know Caleb Downs does the exact same thing, but as I was explaining to somebody else before, Caleb Downs is a safety. If the two levels in front of you both suck, that makes
Mm-hmm.
your job infinitely harder.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
right now, as I have said many a times to many different people,
Mm-hmm.
although we brought Micah McFadden back, although we still have Tremaine Edmonds, that linebacking core is still one injury away from
Mm-hmm.
Darius Muasau being out there starting, taking bad angles and not filling gaps correctly.
Right.
So
Right.
Sonny Styles is the pick.
Follow
Okay.
me.
This is interesting for me because I know the Browns want to move down. At this point, I don't think the I think Dallas might still move up, but I don't think so. But I think the Chiefs might also, just because I think they would want to get in front of Washington
Mm-hmm.
because like Washington, there's still pass rushers left, mainly one pass rusher left,
Just to
and
give you an idea for the Browns, they signed Elgton Jenkins, Zion Johnson, Tevin
oh,
Jenkins.
I already know who I would take for them, but I
Oh,
can't take
okay.
them. I can't justify taking it this early. That's the thing.
Okay.
I know the consensus is like Monroe Freeland, but it's like we're taking the left tackle because he's the left tackle, not because he deserves to be six. Is what I'm
Ah,
saying. And I actually saw some rumblings recently of them taking someone else, which is why I'm like, what if to get in front of Washington, who would most likely at this point take either Carnell Tate or Ruben Bain at this point, and whoever
hey,
they don't
step it out
take,
real quick. I'll be.
they if they don't take them, whoever they don't take, I think
Went sideways.
the the Saints will take them.
Okay.
So I'm wondering with where's the with come on, don't do this to me. With pick number 6, it's
Mm-hmm.
1,600 points. Pick number uh I only need like 250 more points.
Mm-hmm.
6 for Ruben Bain.
Yeah,
Okay,
and I told him after you said that we weren't trading, he traded anyway.
that's all right. This is what it is.
So you're at 7.
Oh,
And
why
no,
can
you
I not
can't take
find
a
Kansas
pick.
City? Okay, so let's just make this shit real easy. What did you trade?
I traded 9 and 74.
Okay, all right. That's so it doesn't affect the first round.
No.
Nah, 6 for 9 and 74. And then it was like it's close to accepted. So I just threw in like 248 for the hell of it.
Mm-hmm. God damn it, thing. Yeah, it's acting up. It doesn't want to put it through. So like, all right,
Yeah.
let me deal with this shit. So 6.
Yeah, it literally told me no too, and it was just like, but then Jay did the same thing and accepted him. So
Yeah. I don't know. I do wonder though with Washington if the board kind of breaks this way. Like I get it, Caleb Downs and Cardinal Tate are there, which
Mm-hmm.
cool.
You
I
said you took
do.
Bane, right?
yeah, he
Yeah, I
took
took
me.
Bane.
Okay,
I
gotcha.
do wonder if someone tries to jump up and with Washington, therefore it would be Jeremiah Love. So I wonder if like I don't know.
Mm.
To get a corner.
So there are a couple of different things that you can do here. Washington's defense was actually really, really bad last year.
I agree.
Um,
Yep.
and you could legitimately just be like, you know what? Who is after Washington that would be looking for the same? You could do this to legitimately just screw the Giants over
I agree. You
and be
could.
like, you know what? Who is sitting in between us and the New York Giants that is actually willing to take or is going to be looking at a Caleb Downs? Or
Uh
because
or Cardinal Tate.
the two picks that we have right there. See, Carnell Tate, I can see that going to New Orleans because they absolutely need a wide receiver.
I would have a
He's
different
also
look, but okay.
Cleveland as well. It's Ohio,
Right,
bring
right,
them home or
right.
whatever. Um, but on the defensive side of the ball, like I said, like your top pick right now is Caleb Downs or whatever. If you want to give Jaden Daniels the best possible offense, though, the same way we're looking at Tennessee with Jeremiah Love and everything like that, then you would go wide receiver. So with me here, it's a bit of a toss up, but I think like if Washington is just like, you know what, let's make this shit as difficult as possible for everybody else around us. Let's go out there and turn the NFC East back into the NFC Beast and take Caleb Downs. So that's where I'm going with that one.
I was gonna say, is there any thought of trading out of that pick?
So it depends on how far down you want to trade and how much danger you would be in trading with Dallas sitting right there.
That's fair.
So the question would be then at that point, like, who would want to trade up and then for who? So you can get New Orleans that would be like, you know what, Cleveland traded behind us. Let's not, let's not sit up here and like do anything. Not Cleveland. Miami's they're behind us because Cleveland, if they wanted to trade back, they would have traded back with somebody in front of New Orleans if they were worried about a wide receiver getting taken.
Exactly.
But the other thing is Miami. Miami
Right.
is sitting up here with basically like nothing in their wide receiver core right now.
They have
So-
nothing anywhere, so
That too.
And they're talking about trading A-Chain too.
yeah. So
Also, they just trying to blow every damn thing up. So
they're
if that's the
blowing
case, then
everything
they
up.
should.
That's why I'm not looking at Miami because I'm like,
Yeah. So
Miami's blowing
if that's the
everything
case, then they can kind of do whatever the hell they want to. But I still wouldn't. If I was Washington, I wouldn't do anything to get behind Dallas unless I got an absolute haul. And like, who really has that after that? So I would leave that alone.
No one. Okay. I wanted to propose the. So you're taking Caleb Downs.
Yeah.
All right. New Orleans, Joseph.
All right, let's see. New Orleans Saints needs edge, receiver, corner, guard, tight end. On a thing. Uh, to be honest. And the two things I'm really looking at, to be like
Mhm.
that's what I'm looking at. It's between for
Who
me
are
right
your
now.
top two names?
Now we
Francis.
know in the lane.
Crazy, because we must have a different consensus board. That is wild.
Who are your top two? Did we all click consensus?
That's what I thought.
To mess up, Jay? What'd you do?
It's still the same three names. It's just ordered differently.
I,
Ah,
so I think my two biggest things are you got. Well, let me look at the Saints free agent cracker. What did the Saints do? Saints free agent signings.
My
why you
biggest
why?
thing with the Saints is that like I get Carnell Tate is the consensus right now, but I 100% think they would consider Tyson the most talented and top receiver. Plus, if you get Carnell Tate, it's just another Chris Olave.
Yeah,
And I don't think they'd want to just double up on Chris Olave's. I think they want someone who's going to be electric that can take some of the wide receiver one pressure off of Chris Olave. So I personally, if you even go receiver, I would say it'd be Jordan Tyson, not Cardinal Tate.
Fair enough.
hmm
Fair enough. My thing right
now
now.
I was about to say my question is, and I just find it real funny that if you look at their team needs, one of the low priority needs is quarterback. I mean, then you motherfuckers just sit up here and draft Tyler Shuck. Like, come on.
They're like, oh well, he only had a good like year, so like we don't know. It's
hmm
like, bro, stop, stop,
Mhm.
stop it, stop that.
Man, my thing. I'm iffy on their line. Looking at they're pretty deep in a lot of places as far as off the line. Like you got Eric McCoy, you got Cesar Ruiz, and then looking down their offensive line more, you just signed David Edwards to a big deal. So between him, Ruiz, and McCoy, I feel like you already kind of have your
Your
interior settled.
interior, yep.
Like,
hmm
now, do you look at Maui Noah as a tackle, or do you look at him as a guard? Like,
I think either way, they wouldn't look at Maui Noah because they have what J.C. Latham, and they just took Calvin Banks last year.
fair enough.
You know what I'm saying? So like, even if
I don't
they
even
were to look
even
at
want
it,
to.
if even if they don't see J.C. Latham as a tackle, with the fact that they just paid big money for a guard, I don't think they would then take a guy who's a tackle guard flexibility. That's not going to help you next year.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And I think my only other thought, and what I think I'm about to do in this situation. Now, again, it could be a thing of a trade out, but I think this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep Mansoor home
Mm.
hmm
down in the bayou, keep him home,
Mm.
and then I think my biggest thing is now you have him and you have Cooley McKinstry and you have two really good young corners.
That makes a lot of sense. Now,
Got you.
this is just gonna be off like stuff I've been hearing and rumblings I've been hearing.
Mm-hmm.
A lot, they're pretty set. The Browns are pretty set almost everywhere but that left tackle spot. I don't think Maui Noah is a left tackle, right?
No.
I I realize that Monroe Freeling is like the poppy name right now, but there was
Mm-hmm.
another name that I saw, and I'm like, wow, okay, they took him early, and I'm hearing momentum that they really, really like him, so they want to trade down to a point where like they can take him and it's fine. I don't
Oh,
think nine.
oh, are
I
we
don't think
doing this?
nine. Yeah, I'm doing it. I don't think nine is a great spot for him, but I think taking the tackle now and trying to get a receiver later in a deep receiver class is going to help. So I'm going to take Caden Proctor here.
I was like,
Oh,
are we doing this?
I'm going to take Caden Proctor.
Oh man. Oh, and you just set Joe up so beautifully. Like,
I did. That's why I was trying to lead y'all to take him at
oof.
8 or 7. So he didn't get here, but if he's here, it makes so much sense.
mhm.
it makes too much sense in a lot of ways. Not to mention you have the tackle you guys would want or guard whatever, and you got both receivers. So
Yeah, technically, all three of them still there. So,
yeah, all three
Yeah,
of them still there. So you get to pick.
hmm
You pick whomever you want.
yeah. I mean, I'm not even gonna fuck around here. Give me Francis.
hmm
Really?
Give me Francis. Yeah. Listen,
Oh
my thinking here
wow.
is following what the Giants have been doing in free agency and everything.
Mm-hmm.
On the defensive side of the ball, we've pretty much said we're going to wait till after the draft. I think we're going to address interior defensive tackle, and we're going to
Mm-hmm.
get Christian Miller or Lee Hunter or somebody at 37.
Mm-hmm.
We also said we're going to sign DJ Reader after the draft. We've also brought in somebody, I forgot who, to data visit, and we also brought in Austin Johnson. We talked
Mm-hmm.
so and Shelby Harris. So I feel like we're going to draft a D tackle and we're going to sign two veterans. On the
Mm-hmm.
offensive interior, we haven't done anything besides bringing camp bodies. We It's almost like we've left that position open. Like every other position is open is pretty much sealed on offensive line. You got Andrew Thomas, you got Runyon, you got Schmitz, and you got Illuminor right tackle. But right guard, you have Evan Neal on a 1 year deal with no guarantee. You got Izudu on a 1 year deal with no guarantee. You brought in Falele, who has $200,000 is guaranteed. Like you brought in Aaron Stinney, who has like nothing guaranteed. You brought in camp fodder that maybe be able to fill in for a couple things. But if you go and you get Francis Malinois, that's your day one starter at right guard,
I get it. It makes a lot of sense. It
and
makes a
that's you
not
ton of sense.
not only that, but that is your future and your heir apparent at right tackle
potentially
when
yes.
Jermaine Illuminor
Mm-hmm.
finally moves on.
Potentially, yes. My only caveat with Malinois is the shit that I heard. I think what was today or whatever. As
The
far as
back, the back,
is the back issue, and the thing
Yeah.
is,
yeah.
like, he was playing with the herniated disc, and so it's like if it turns out to be nothing, then he's fine. He's our day one starter. If it turns out to be something
hmm
major, then he could be out up to 3 to 4 months. That's my
hmm
only issue. But if he gets green flags on that medical, you
Right.
got you got two day one starters at picks 5 and 10. I honestly
hmm
think, if I'm being real here, though, I think we're going to trade back from 10. We're going to trade back from one of them. I think,
I
depending
Yeah,
agree.
on
I
I
think
think
depending on how
10
the
is the
board
more likely
falls,
one.
depending on how the
Yeah.
board falls, I think we're going to trade back from one and potentially 10. And the only other thing I looked at was I could see us trading back with Casey, and we can go from 5 to 9 and pick up 40 from that. But if
Yeah.
hmm
not, I could see us trading back from 10, dropping somewhere in the teens, and you can still pick up offensive lineman, or then you can be like, okay, we dropped to 12, and then we got an extra third rounder out of it, and then we go and get Jordan Tyson.
I don't
hmm
see y'all playing ball with Dallas, honestly. I don't see y'all
Well, I
really
don't
going
mean
to do that.
12 specifically, but I'm saying like drop back a pick or two is what
Yeah.
hmm
my thing. But I mean there was talk of the Dallas trying to give us 12 and 20 for 5.
Mm.
They want Sonny Styles or Jeremiah Love. They want one of the two.
hmm
But that's gonna it would take 12, 20, and
Absolutely.
Yeah.
like
Absolutely.
especially
It
and
has to be
and then
worth
on
it for
added
y'all.
on top of it that you're in division. Like,
You're
yeah,
in
Yeah.
division, so
Yeah.
you're gonna
That's
you're
what
gonna.
I'm
I
like,
need 12. I need 12,
I don't
20.
know
I
if I see
need
that.
50% ownership of the Cowboys and everything.
hmm
Like, like I'm taking this. It's something, but that's I mean that's a solid haul for the Giants on night one. I'm not mad at it at all. Just I'm
No.
not looking at trade. That's where I'm going.
I do wonder from Miami. I get they have a lot of picks, but they're in full picks the better. So I do wonder if they like look to trade out of this pick,
Mm.
but I don't really know. Like maybe they could swap with the Rams. Maybe.
Where are the Rams at?
No, no, I don't
13
think so.
and
They have 13, 61, 93, and then a bunch of sevens.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Uh, they're definitely not playing ball with the Jets. I'll tell you that much.
Mm-mm.
Tampa Bay could look to move up, but it doesn't make a lot of sense for them right now. Who else could look to move up? The Steelers could look to move up if they wanted to get a receiver. They have, it looks like, 2 third-round picks that they could look to move up. Let's see. They don't have a lot of picks, so the Chargers probably won't be moving. Won't be moving much. Yeah, I can't see really any trade partner. I'm probably gonna get reamed for this, more than likely.
God knows it.
Honestly, by those people. Well, Baltimore. I could see Baltimore moving up for like. And Benny, maybe you have the trade chart up so you can check my math. But I think to move
See,
up
this
to
is
11, they would probably only need like 14, 115 and 150, 115 and like 173.
So that looks like it should get it done. Because, like, okay, so 11 is 1250, 14 is 1100. So you only need to make up, 150 points. Like, what is the other two picks you were saying?
4 and 173.
154. I say 154 would be 30 points and 173. So you
And 211.
damn, I don't even see fucking 211. All right, so 211 is
11.
only 8 points. What's their fourth rounder?
Their fourth is
112.
115.
It's 115. All
So
right, so if
14
you were
You said Miami and who?
Baltimore.
and,
Oh,
Baltimore.
Baltimore. That's why I thought that.
All right, so what you would probably have to do with Baltimore is go 14, 115, and good lord, shit. Because the thing is, like, the shit, it drops off a cliff. Like these
So
point
let's say
values and everything.
115, 162.
Well, the crazy thing is for 14.
They're probably not going to tell you.
You know, because you know why it is. You're looking at it from the standpoint to Baltimore and not Baltimore trying to trade to Miami.
Well, I mean, it is for
Oh,
everyone.
that makes sense.
So if you were to do it in the other way around, like if you were to pick Baltimore first, that shit would not fly.
Okay, let me see. I just want to. It's worth exploring.
Mm-hmm.
But let me show it. Baltimore. Okay, 14 for 11. So you're close.
Okay, 115.
Likely upset.
Likely. Yeah, so
And
like
then
it's probably like it's not worth it after that.
Yeah, let's just see if they take it.
There you go.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, you got it.
Okay, and then I'm gonna take Vega.
All right, give me 2 seconds to do that shit myself. All right, so
Vega
Miami.
Fly. Vega Fire. Vega Lord. Yeah, I turned it into Dawson. So what? Is his last
said I
name
traded
Lone?
into Dawson.
Is his name Lone or Ione? What is it?
That looks like an I, so it's an Ione.
It's
Ioane.
Yowane.
Vega Ioane. Oh, I've been calling Vega Lone the whole time. Well, my Dawson doesn't work anymore.
All right,
Vega,
so here I am.
Vega
Here I am on the clock with one of my hated rivals. But as I did for Washington, I'm going to be serious about this pick. I'm not going to sit up there and just bullshit them.
Mm-hmm.
So,
oh, that's wild. That's disrespectful.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look, they don't want to pay Brendan Aubrey, so
They just paid him. That's facts. That is facts.
they should have given that man $10 million a year. I don't want to hear shit.
All they gotta do is
But
pay.
anyway, I'm sitting up here and I'm looking at two potential picks for them because not two, three potential picks for them. Even though one of them you can technically get it at 20. I'm thinking like, all right, Cowboys. One of their biggest selling point over the last, I don't know, 10 years has been how good their offensive line has been. You need to work on, renewing that and everything. But at the same time, Dallas's defense was historically bad last year. Now, granted,
Agreed.
part of that was injuries and everything like that. But I think the prospect of fixing that secondary, which was just explosive play after explosive play after explosive play, that defense made Russell old ass Wilson look like 2013 Russell Wilson last year. So I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say, you know what? Let's work on that right there. Hopefully this dude's injury and everything is okay. And even if it isn't, let's work on getting that mess back to normal. Joe, you got it right up there. We're going Jamad McCoy.
Now, mind you, okay, so my thing just reset. That's lovely.
Mind you, you were saying. Mm-hmm.
I've heard rumors that like he could drop to day 2 just because of how the injury history is.
Yeah. So
like
the
it's definitely
last
possible.
The last thing that I heard with him is that they had to go in there and they had to do another little thing with his knee or whatever, but it wasn't anything that had to do with the ACL. It was something that they were trying to clean up in his knee.
Right.
All right, let's see.
So, Jay, you need to go through the picks and everything, or are you good?
I'm good.
Okay.
For the most part.
I think I'm pretty set in who I want here.
Mm-hmm.
Just want to look at the Rams. Let's see real quick before I make this pick.
Bro, this would be disgusting if you take who I think you're about to take.
Yeah, that's what I think would happen too if he was there.
Who do y'all think I'm about to take is my question. Who do you think?
Tyson. For the Saints, we took Mansour Delane, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean,
did Joe just die?
Yep. This is Shadow Realm.